6:34, and this is Park Advisory Committee meeting. Notice it's hereby given that the meeting of Sandy Oaks Park Advisory Committee will be held on Tuesday, January 5th, 4 p.m. at Sandy Oaks City Hall, located at 4451 Hickory Haven, Sandy Oaks, Texas 78112, and by telephonic video conferencing for the purpose of considering the following agenda items. All agenda items are subject to action in an effort to advance the public health goal of limiting face-to-face meetings, also called social distancing, instead of COVID. No in-person public access to the meeting. The public may participate in this meeting by using the link spelled out and the meeting, which is listed on the website. Public will be permitted to offer public comments telephonically or by audio as provided by as permitted by the presiding officer during the meeting. Written questions or comments may be submitted to the chairperson up to 2 hours before the meeting by emailing the chairperson. The meeting has been called to order, and I will conduct a quorum. Charles?
Here.
Mayor?
Here.
Ann?
Here. Here. And Rue Carval is on Zoom.
Rue is on.
Rue.
Here.
Hello, here.
We do have a quorum, and I checked the my email, and there were no citizens to be heard. Are there any on the Zoom? I guess not.
No, sir.
Okay, so we will move on to agenda item 3, discussing possible action on locating a feasible economic sunshade solution for the playground. Now, I did take the opportunity to talk to the gentleman that came out here, Mr. Todd Mills, about shade and particularly the sail type shades, and he said they are very expensive, particularly for the size that we want. So I went hunting around, and look, he said that you probably look for a small type of appliance to do it, but the fact that we would need poles to put in the ground really adds to the expense. I looked around. This is a sort of an idea of how to do it, but it would be terribly expensive. I didn't get a price on this, but it really looks nice. But I don't think it would be in our ballpark to do it this way, but we can keep looking. Does anybody have any other ideas or solutions, or is that me?
Sorry.
It was you. I've been discussing this with a engineer friend I used to work with.
Okay.
And he's given me some preliminary ideas. We found some light, not light, sign poles. They're 19 feet overall, have to be buried 3 feet in the ground. I want to say they're $328 a piece. We looked at the actual sails are really the shade material, but are not that expensive. He's got one more thing he needs to look at, but from what we're looking at, discounting the labor, we could put a roughly 40 by 50-foot shade in the neighborhood between $3,500 and $4,000.
Now, what Mr. Mills told me about the sail shades are, the bigger they are, the deeper you have to go because of the wind.
Right.
So I don't know if 3 feet would be enough for a sail that.
Well,
size.
that's 3 feet anchoring the pole and guy wire bracing.
Well, that might
Uh,
help. Yeah. And the other part about the size of it is the wind and the strength of the material. As the wind, the bigger it is, the more stress will be on the actual material. But by the way, how is the shade we put up over at the town doing? Is that holding up with the wind?
It's still there.
Because that's pretty damn big. So,
The there is some wind loading on the sails, but not nearly as much as there is on the billboards.
yeah.
But I will continue to work with them. A lot of concrete and 19-foot long poles.
Poles, are they metal poles?
Yes, they are.
Do they have to be metal? Could they not be a good sized PVC?
Now
I think
PVC,
PVC wouldn't hold the weight, I don't
no,
think.
PVC just doesn't have the structural strength.
Concrete does.
I'm not going to get into a engineering discussion, but if it was big enough to hold it, it would have to be reinforced,
Mhm.
and we don't. If we build them horizontally, we'd never be able to lift. Now, there are utility poles, secondhand available,
Mhm.
and they're less expensive than the metal pole. But again, we wouldn't have a way to manhandle
Mhm.
a 20-foot pole.
Not only that, they usually have creosote in them, and that's toxic. So,
Well, you know, they're all up and down the street, so it can't be that toxic. You know, I mean, we have them.
but it's in the
We have them in the
playground.
park already, so, but, you know, if we try to do this as a do-it-yourself project, beyond
Yeah, I agree.
our ability to handle. So,
You need special equipment to handle a telephone pole anyhow.
yeah. So I will continue to work with this
Okay,
gentleman
Charles,
and
thank
see
you
if we
for
can,
doing that.
you know, but basically we're looking at staggering 4 20 by 26 sails across the area.
Yeah, that was, you said they're smaller than
So
one great big one.
4 of them, but it would give us roughly a shade pattern of 38 by, I want to say 50 feet with the overlaps. And we had at one point said we wanted it at 35, 45. So we're actually looking at a little bit more than we had originally discussed. But that's where I am on that project.
Can I throw this out there?
Ma'am?
And I haven't even checked into the pricing yet. Maybe y'all have. In Elmendorf, their pavilion is it's a pole barn for lack of. I'm just wondering if that is. I mean, we're talking about significant amounts of money here. maybe for a little bit more, we get a structure that is more durable. I mean, it could be an option, and then you could pretty much cover the entire playground and maybe a little bit outside of it for, I don't know.
$10,000 probably.
Yeah.
Well, but what Charles is saying here with these shades, these 4 shades, it could be as high as $4,000, and that's for 4 poles.
No, that's with.
Oh, that's
Oh,
with the
with
poles.
Yeah,
Concrete.
yeah, everything.
Concrete mixture. There's
Everything.
Cables, earth, anchors.
Okay,
Over, yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at 3,500 to 4,000.
that's not bad.
But we will have to generate the labor in-house.
Oh,
So
yeah.
now the other, since you said that, we could, let me get back on the microphone. We could talk to pole barn builders
Mhm.
and get a quote on, let's put it over the whole. Yeah, and I think, at that point, you're exceeding, $15,000. So, but hey, they all said they want to give a free quote. Let's get one.
I like free.
Yeah, I talked to this guy about it, and it was around that, but we'll talk to that next.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Charles, for doing that.
Yes, sir.
We'll move on to agenda item 4, discussing possible action on the visit to the park by Mr. Todd Mills. He's the South Texas Sales Manager for Game Time Playground and by Total Recreational Projects. And I left a catalog that he left for us to peruse if we want to on each of the tables here. I talked to him for about 25 minutes about various aspects of what we're thinking about in the park, and I also told him that we don't have a large amount of money to complete a lot of the things that we want to do. And we're thinking about long range projects. And I mentioned the ball field and the soccer field, and he said that would take huge amounts of money. And I mentioned that we were talking about looking for grant money to do that. And he said, yes, that would be a good way to go on that. Talked about covering the playground area, and he said they have that engineered wood fiber. It's ADA compliant. It'll accept a wheelchair. It would, be cushion enough to keep people when they fell from really getting hurt bad. And I asked him, how much do you think that would cost us to have that put in? And he gave me a ballpark quote of about $13,000 to $14,000. So I knew that was not in our body.
Right.
So, and we had gotten similar quotes before. But he's willing to work with us on things, he said, but I don't think we want to, go into debt and have a monthly bill on anything. But he's available. So if we want to get him back here for any project that we might want to explore, we can always get a free quote as we're talking about. Oh, and I did talk about covering the whole thing, and it was around $15,000. Covering the play area.
Yeah.
Yes. So.
Everything,
Yeah. Yeah.
There's stuff on those
Right.
numbers. Did you discuss any exercise equipment?
Oh, he said it's available, but I didn't get into specific types. He said that
It's in here in the catalog.
it's in the catalog, as we said.
Yeah.
And if we want to explore getting some of that, I'd be glad to look at it. I did tell them about the exercise equipment and the type they have over at Elmendorf. They don't have that specific type, but they do have it in here. And he said,
I went on the iBoard. Everything's expensive. Yeah. It's like $1,000 for this station.
Yeah.
$2,000
for
for
that,
station.
yeah, you're not going to get anything less than $1,000, $1,200, $2,000 unless you do something simple or you like a slant where you can do sit-ups or something like that. You can do it yourself, or a pull-up bar, something like that. Well, anyhow, that's the way that went. He said he'd be glad to come back and talk to me. And we do have the catalog.
Rue, can you hear everyone fine?
It goes in and out a little bit.
I don't know why it does that. That's so weird.
I just think it's the connection to the internet that does that. I don't know why.
That is weird. Okay.
Okay, I'll move on to agenda item number 5, discussing possible action on the status of the bench. And I have good news here. It's ordered and it's on its way. And when it was ordered, it just so happened that they had a special going on. And remember where it was going to cost us 800 and some bucks?
Mhm.
It only cost us half that.
No kidding.
Yes, it cost us $458.82, and that included shipping.
Nice job, Tom.
Well, I didn't know that. 8-foot Super Saver bench with back in-ground mount black.
Nice.
98.85 and 179.63 with a for shipping.
Nice.
Now I hope it's the right one. I didn't know.
It'll be wonderful whenever it
Yeah.
is.
So, I mean, it was 8 foot, and that's the one they said that 8-foot benches could not be, UPS would not carry it, so, yes.
Wow. When's it expected to arrive?
I don't have the expected date, but it shipped, on the 9th, let's see, due date, 19th of
January?
January.
Okay.
It has the in-ground appliance with it, so.
Nice.
Okay, discussing possible action. I'll move on to, if there's no further discussion on that one, I'll move on to agenda item 6. Discussing possible action on procurement, location, and erection of the flagpole within the park. Well, to let everybody know what happened, we couldn't put it before last month's council meeting because the wording was wrong on the agenda. So we pulled it, and I ensured that the wording is correct this time. I sent it again as I had sent it the first time, and hopefully it'll get on there. And we'll be able to get it before the council and hopefully get approval for it so that we will get approval to buy the flagpole for the park area as well as for the administrative. I thought we said we were going to put it out here because this will be the civic center or the recreation center or whatever.
I looked right at it.
Yeah. Well, if there's no further discussion on that, I will move to adjourn. It is 6:54. I'll call it that.
Hey, thank you, Rue, for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Rue. Happy
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
You too.
Okay, we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Those Japanese things. Whatever.